Hello, AEP 800 classmates. This is Kathy Hanish, and this is ReadWorks is the first of my 5 websites that I'll be sharing with you for Module 15. I selected this website or tool to support the goal of improving students' ability to comprehend grade appropriate text by increasing mastery of academic and/or content vocabulary. This is the first of 3 different websites that provide articles that have been carefully curated to support reading comprehension. I've picked 3 different websites in order to provide teachers with several alternatives to choose from. Readworks.org is a new site to me, but it came recommended by my media specialist. The purpose of this video is to help inform teachers about this free resource that's available to them to use. And as I stated earlier, also to support the goal of improving reading comprehension, students' reading comprehension. Also as an alternative source for nonfiction and literary articles, and to encourage teachers to use this resource with their students. My intended audience is teachers. The ITSE standards, I believe, that are covered include Coaching Standard 2E, coach teachers in and model design and implementation of technology-enhanced learning experiences using differentiation, including adjusting content, process, product, and learning environments based on student readiness levels, learning styles, interests, and personal goals. And also Coaching Standard 3B to maintain and manage a variety of digital tools and resources for teachers and students' use in technology-rich learning environments. Some of the features that I like on this site is that it houses a large library of nonfiction and literary articles. They pair a nonfiction and literary article together, which is a nice feature. There's built-in question sets. Students can highlight and annotate. It provides teachers the ability to differentiate based on reading levels. There's an audio version of the articles. They have the option to print, and there's ELL support as well. There's a list of vocabulary words, and it integrates well with Google Classroom, and it's a very simple setup, as you'll see as we move on to explore the actual site. Here we are at the readworks.org website. As you can see, with most of these kinds of sites, you can create a login based on if you're an educator or if you're a student. So if you click on I'm an educator, it just comes up and asks you for your email, name, and a password. I've already done that. It's pretty straightforward. I don't think we need to do that. Otherwise, if you've already got your email set up, then you can log in, which I will do here. Once you get into the website, it's laid out pretty simply. The first thing that you want to do would be to create a class. So under Class Admin, you just click and over here to the right you have Create a Class. And you hit the plus button. You can pick the grade level that you would be teaching. As you can see, it's pre-K through 12th grade. We'll pick 8th grade, and you just give it a name. I'm going to just make this up for right now. The nice thing I like about one of the nice features I like about this site is you have the option to either invite your whole class with Google if you are a Google GAF school, or you can create a roster. The Google option just gives you a code that you give your students. We'll take a look at that in a minute. But even if you're not a Google Classroom, to invite with a roster, let's choose that option. You click invite with a roster, and then all you have to do is start typing students' names. And you can either use first and last, or you can just use initials. I'm very creative here. And hit add. And then it will tell you that the password for all those students is 1234, and they can either change the password or you can. So this is my test class. That was just how simple it was for those kids to get created, for those to add those kids. I'm going to come over here and actually pick another class. I'm going to pick this technology class so you can see that this was this student, which was just another version of myself, I guess, was added via the Google admin. So in the case of if you chose that, students would go to this URL, and then they would enter that class code. And we'll take a look at that a little bit later. Once you've got a class created, one of the things you'd want to do is find content for that class. So you click under content. You can pick by topic or subject level, social studies or science. You can also pick by grade level, narrow it down by grade level. So let's say we're going to teach, this is a science class. I'm going to go back, and I can say that I think we said our test class was 8th graders, so I can search on 8th grade. And maybe I would like to pick 7th grade and 9th grade just to give a variety of articles that are a little easier, and depending on what level your readers are. As you can see, you get the lexile and number of words, and if there's a question set associated with that reading passage. Once you find an article that appeals to you, you just click and add it to the list, and that adds it to your list. And if we go to, now if you go to my list, you'll see the different articles that you've picked. And then you can assign that reading to your class by picking the test class, and you can choose to either just assign the article or a number of different formats. They have the audio, the step reads, and if they need the vocabulary words, if you want them to have that, you can make an assignment date. You can assign an article to a specific student, or you can assign the article to the whole class. That's where the differentiation comes in, where if you have to pick different articles for different students, you have that ability to do that. Another feature is that you can choose paired text. And what I mean by that is this is an example of under technology innovation where there was a nonfiction article, and then it's paired with a fiction article. And so that's kind of a nice feature as well. And we did talk about the question sets that students then can answer questions as it relates to the article. And we'll take a look at that when we log in as a student. Under assignments in progress, you can see based on the class that you're in, and you just change your class up here, how the students are doing, and you can take a look at the results, and it auto grades the question sets that we talked about. Let's take a little closer look at an article that you picked that's in your My List. If you click on the actual article, you can see the article. You can listen to the audio if you'd like to hear it to see if it's appropriate. You can also see the vocabulary words that are picked, and then also this is where you could preview the question sets and what's being asked of the students. Most of the question sets have a number of multiple choice questions that the students answer, and then a written answer that's not automatically graded. And then you can once again assign that. You can also print the article and or the question set if doing it online is not appropriate or doesn't work for some or all of your students. You can also remove that article from the your list as well. The steps read feature lets you choose the article written at a less complex level. Here it's the same article, just less words and the Lexile, and you have one more step down that allows you to assign that to specific students. If you had a student that you needed to provide a less complex version of the text. And then you can see that. Okay, I'm going to log out as myself, as the instructor, and we're going to go ahead and log in as a student. In this case, I'm going to log in with my Google, Fort Hays Google, and then I was already enrolled in this class called Technology that we looked at. And so as a student, notice I'm Catherine versus Kathy. I click on my technology, it shows me the assignments that have been made for me. And then, so this is what the students would see. And then it also shows, so I can click on that paired text and read the articles and answer the questions. As you can see, Article 1, Article 2, and the questions are there. And then I can submit that, or I can go back to assignments and pick something else. But it's very straightforward from the student's standpoint as well. That's one of the things I really like about this site. It's quick and easy to set up classes, and it's easy for students to access. Like I mentioned before, I like the paired text. I think that's a nice feature, and the ability to have it auto correct your assignments. Anyway, I think this is a site worth checking out. So thank you for your time.